Hello guys, greetings for the day. In this video, I am going to explain about mesh analysis. In circuit theory, we have two powerful analysis or you have two powerful techniques. That is, the first one is mesh analysis or mesh technique. Another one we have nodal analysis or you can say nodal technique. So by using these two analysis, you can find some unknown parameter in the given circuit. Now let us consider that I have given a circuit A, and in the circuit A you have to find unknown parameter. Okay, now we have two techniques, right? Mesh analysis and nodal analysis. Now we need to understand that which technique is more appropriate to apply to find what unknown parameter. Either it is a mesh analysis or it is a nodal analysis. To conclude that, we have some two key points. The point number one is, suppose if any circuit is having the voltage sources are higher compared to what current sources. This is very important. If any circuit is having number of voltage sources are higher compared to current sources, then you can apply what? You can apply mesh analysis. For example, in this circuit A, let us consider you have 9 voltage sources and 1 current source. Then of course the voltage sources are higher, then you can apply mesh analysis. But before apply mesh analysis, you need to do one thing, that is, there is a one current source, right? This current source you have to convert from current source to what? Voltage source. Then total how many voltage sources you have? Of course you have 10 voltage sources, and then you have to apply what? Mesh analysis. So before apply mesh analysis, if there is any current sources in the given circuit, those current sources we have to convert from current source to voltage sources, and then you have to apply mesh analysis. Then the point number two, if any given circuit is having more number of current sources compared to voltage sources, then you have to apply what? Nodal analysis. For example, in the given circuit A is having 5 current sources and 1 voltage source. Of course, the current sources are higher, therefore I can apply nodal analysis. But before apply nodal analysis, see here we have one voltage source, right? So this voltage source you need to convert to what? Current source by using conversion of voltage to current source. Then total how many current sources? You have 6 current sources, and then you have to apply nodal analysis. These two are very important points. Based on this, we will choose which analysis we have to apply to the circuit. Then the third one, and for the mesh analysis, you can apply mesh analysis only for planar circuit. Okay, so for the non-planar circuit you cannot apply mesh analysis. So in my previous video I have explained about what is planar circuit and what is non-planar circuit and how to classify these two. So a planar circuit is said to be a planar if it can be drawn on a plane surface without any crossover. So if you want to understand more about planar circuit, so please visit my previous lectures and you will understand about planar circuit. Okay, these three are very important points. And also for you need to understand that suppose here I have given a element R. So you know for resistor you have two terminals, right? Terminal A and terminal B. Now let us consider the current I1 is flowing from terminal A to B. Then how to find voltage as per Ohm's law? V equal to IR, right? So this is V equal to I1R. Now let us consider the current I2 is flowing from B to A. Then how to write? Suppose here V equal to two currents are flowing. I1 is from A to B, I2 from B to A. Suppose if you are standing at terminal A, then you can write, so V equal to I1 minus I2 into R. Okay, the differences between two currents. Suppose if you are standing at B and if you want to find what is the voltage, okay, then what current is flowing from B terminal? I2. Therefore, in that case, you can write V equal to I2 minus I1 into R. So this is very important. If you are at terminal A, you need to write I1 minus I2 into R. if you are at a terminal B, you need to write I2 minus I1 into R. And this is same for the capacitor also. So you know capacitor has two terminal, right? Suppose if it is current I1 is flowing from A to B, you know, right, I equal to 1 by C integral I into dt. Then if only one current is flowing, you can write I1 dt. Suppose if two currents are flowing, one current is from A to B, another current is what, from B to A. Suppose if you are standing at terminal A, then you can write V equal to 1 by C integral I dt. So you are at a terminal A, right? Therefore you can write I1 minus I2 into dt. Yes or no? Now suppose if you stand at terminal B, then you can write V equal to 1 by C integral. Now in this case you can write I2 minus I1 into dt. So these 4 points are very important. If you understand this one, you can find the unknown parameter by using mesh analysis. Okay, clear? Now for example, here I am giving one circuit to you. Suppose here we have a voltage source and you have some resistors. Let us consider this voltage source is what, Vs, and this is what, R1, R2 and R3 and R4. Now see, we need to find some unknown parameter. Suppose you need to find what, mesh current. Okay, by using mesh analysis, what you need to find? You need to find mesh current. Suppose see, first, which analysis I need to apply, either mesh or nodal analysis. Now in this circuit, we are having only one voltage source. Then you can go for mesh analysis. Now we can apply mesh analysis is only for planar circuit. Now is it a planar circuit? Yes, this is a planar circuit because you don't have any crossover. Yes, then we can apply what? Mesh analysis. Now see, before apply mesh analysis, you need to understand that how many loops we have. That means how many closed circuits you have in the given circuit. So here you have how many circuits? Two closed circuits. Okay, that means you have to consider two loop currents, I1 and I2. So let us consider that I1 is flowing in this loop 1 and I2 is flowing in this loop 2. Okay, or closed circuit 2. So here I just assume that I1 current is flowing in the clockwise direction, or you can consider anti-clockwise direction also. This is up to you. Okay. Now see, if you take any resistor, if I'm saying the current is flowing like this, so you know current always flows from what? Positive potential to negative potential, or higher potential to lower potential. Yes or no? Yes. Now see, you need to understand this current is flowing to the R1. Therefore, this is plus and minus because I have considered this plus and minus based on the current direction. Now for R2, I1 current is flowing. Therefore, plus and minus. Clear. Now you need to apply what? You need to apply KVL in loop 1. So I already explained about what is Kirchhoff voltage law. So the Kirchhoff voltage law states that the algebraic sum of all branch voltages in a closed loop is equal to 0. Now what is the branch voltage of this particular source? Vs. And what is the branch voltage of R1 resistor? You can find by using Ohm's law, V equal to IR. Okay, clear. Now if I apply KVL in loop 1, what I am getting? So this current is going from lower potential to higher potential. Therefore plus Vs. This is the voltage of this particular source. And here current is flowing from plus to minus. Therefore I need to keep minus. So here what is the voltage at this R1? V equal to IR. What is the current here? I1. Therefore I1 into R1. Now when coming to R2, here see, I have explained. So if two currents are flowing in the opposite direction, so you can write I1 minus I2 into R when you are at the terminal A, and you can write V equal to I2 minus I1 into R when you are at the terminal B. So based on this analysis, see here in R2, how many currents are flowing? Two currents. I1 current is flowing like this and I2 current is flowing in the opposite direction. Okay. However, here plus and minus, you need to keep minus here. Then two currents are flowing, right? So which one I need to do? I need to take I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1. Now I am at where? I am at a loop because I applied KVL in loop 1. So I should give preference to what? I1 current. Therefore, I1 minus I2 into R. This is the voltage of resistor R2. Therefore, equal to 0. Therefore, from this I can write Vs equal to I1 R1 plus I1 minus I2 into R. Okay, this is what? R2. Okay, this is my equation 1. Now, if I apply KVL in loop 2, okay, apply KVL in where? In loop 2 or closed loop 2. So here I have considered that current is flowing like this in the clockwise direction. As I said, you can consider the anti-clockwise direction also, no problem. So as per this current direction, see, always current goes from plus to minus at R2. So here current I2 is going like this. Therefore, this is plus to minus. And here plus to minus at R4 because as per current direction. Now see, plus minus, I need to write minus. Now I applied KVL in loop 2. So I should give preference to what? I2 current. Then what is the voltage at R2? We know V equal to IR. So here, but I means two currents are flowing at R2. Therefore, I2 minus I1 because I applied KVL in loop 2. Therefore, I2 minus I1 into R2. So here minus at R3 only I2 current is flowing. Therefore, I2 R3 and plus to minus only I2 current is flowing at R4. Therefore, I2 into R4 equal to 0. Yes or no? Yes. Therefore, if I multiply with minus, what happened? Therefore, I2 minus I1 into R2 plus I2 R3 and plus I2 R4 equal to 0. Now from here I can take I2 common, right? If I take I2, therefore this is R3 plus R4. Okay, now this is I2 minus I1 R2. Now let us consider this is your equation 2. Now see what is our ultimate goal here. So by using mesh analysis, you need to find what? Mesh current. Now here you have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Of course, in the circuit, you know voltage, and in the circuit, you know R1 and R2, R3, R4 values. So if you submit resistor and voltage values, you have what? One variable, that is I1, I2. Now in my previous video, I have explained about what? Cramer's rule, right? So by using this Cramer's rule, you can find I1. The formula is what? Delta I1 by delta. And you also can find I2, that is delta I2 by delta. So by using Cramer's rule, you can find I1 and I2. Let us consider what is the use of this I1 and I2 mesh current. Suppose see what current is flowing at R4 as per your assumption. I2 current is flowing. Let us consider you find I2, the I2 value equal to 1 ampere. Now here you have R4. Let us consider this is what? 2 ohm. Now once if you know current and resistance, can you find voltage at R4? Yes. V equal to IR. So what is the current flowing at R4? 1 ampere into what is the resistor? 2. Therefore you can find what is the voltage? 2 volts at what? R4. Once if you know current, loop mesh current, you can find voltage anywhere. Suppose here I want to find voltage. What is the voltage at R1? V equal to IR. Now if you know I1, see you can submit here and you can submit resistance, then you will find the voltage. Once if you know voltage, current and resistance, you also can find what? Power. So once if you know mesh currents, you can find whatever the parameter you want in that circuit. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. So I want to revise. So if any circuit is having more number of voltage sources, you need to apply mesh. If any circuit is having more number of current sources, we need to apply nodal analysis. Suppose if two currents are flowing in same branch, you need to write I1 minus I2 into R. That is same for resistor and that is same for capacitor, inductor, any other elements. Now, before applying mesh analysis, you need to check whether it contains number of voltage sources or current sources. In this circuit, we have voltage sources, so we can apply mesh analysis. Now, is it a planar circuit? Yes, it is a planar circuit. Then you can apply mesh analysis. So here we need to understand how many closed loops we have. Two. Then you need to consider two loop currents. Either it is a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. After assuming that, you can apply KVL in loop 1, you will get equation 1. You can apply KVL in loop 2, you will get equation 2. And by using Cramer's rule, you can find I1 and I2. Once you find I1 and I2, you can find any other parameter in the circuit. That may be voltage, that may be power, that may be resistance, whatever it is. Okay, thank you so much.